Should we start off with like a Happy New Year?
And no, because it's New Year's Eve.
Dude, you're really testing me right now. Okay.
Okay.
Hello and welcome.
Happy New Year!
Hello and welcome to SasaAndGoff Live Recorded.
I'm Sasha.
And I'm Goff, and this is episode number 28, and this week we are talking about our top 3 dream vacation destinations as brought to you by our dear friend Giuseppe in Italy. So, New Year's Eve.
Oh.
Yeah?
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's, my friend.
That's right. It's New Year's Eve, not New Year's Steve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, brother. Yeah. So, you got any resolutions?
Resolutions. Haven't thought of it, which is good. Good for podcast fodder. No, I mean, like, I exercise already, so I'm good with that. I'm going to try and eat better, but that's just a normal thing. It's not a New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, I don't think. You?
So are you ever a resolutions guy? Like, I guess
No.
I know some people, like, just are straight up get, like, offended when you actually ask them. It's like, I don't care about you. Why are you going to do it now? And it's like, I'm just asking.
I go by the thing where it's like, if you want to do something, start it immediately.
Just do it. Don't wait for
Don't
New
wait.
Year's.
Yeah, like Megan does the thing always, and like I do with her. So this is not
what you say.
I know. I don't want to get
tread lightly.
Mad or whatever. She'll be like, we're starting over on Monday. You know, like if we eat poorly on Saturday or whatever. I'm like, well, how about tonight we don't eat more pizza or what? You know what I mean? So, like, I'm always, like, wanting to get things done. Like, if you want to learn an instrument, don't be like, that's my New Year. No, just start today. Go get a book or
Ours,
whatever.
me and Joni, it's always, all right, listen, starting at the end of next week, we are going to...
Yeah, next Monday or the first Monday of next June.
Yes.
Whichever comes second, I'm going to learn how to sing.
Okay, sing. Good stuff. All right, so dream vacation destinations. How is this one for you?
Incredibly milk toast.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah, it's a good word.
Here's the problem. I haven't been to many places, and so I want to go to, like, the places that most people want to go to, because I haven't heard of, like, the cool places that people go to. So
well, let me tell you where I'm going January 6th.
Omaha. January 6th.
No, you know what? I think this is... I'm kind of in the same boat as you, but my thing is more so I'm afraid to leave this country because I know every other country hates us. So,
No.
All right, well, 2/3 of the world will say.
No. Everyone hates us, but you shouldn't be afraid to leave because of that.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
wear it as a badge of pride.
Most people, when you go to a different country, most people are like, oh, an American? Bleh. What's up? Eat my shorts, dude. You know, they like want to be your friend.
Don't have a cow, man.
Yeah, it's only Simpsons quotes.
You want to buy drugs?
They like want to be your friend. They'll talk behind your back, like as soon as you turn around.
I'm just imagining other lines. Where's the beef?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
shit like
I mean, that's at least that's what Serbia is. So I can't imagine any other country is different than Serbia.
No,
you know?
of course not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a fear of going anywhere, but like,
You haven't watched as many movies as I have.
I guess.
Yeah.
But then you shouldn't watch movies. Like,
Yeah, don't watch the Hostel movies if you.
now let me ask you. So you're afraid to travel? Have you been around America?
The furthest west I've gone is probably Indiana.
Wow, which is east of us. Okay.
The furthest west I've ever gone is Indiana. No, I've been to Texas. That's probably the furthest I've traveled.
Wow. Okay.
And then, I've pretty much stayed in the Midwest, and that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, never.
All
Like,
right.
oh, no, that's not true. I've been to Florida twice. So,
It's not even
lap of luxury.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. I've been to. Without knowing, I would guess that I've been to like 30 states.
Okay. I would say, before you get into yours, I'd say for mine, it's probably like 8.
Wow. Okay.
And some of those are just traveled through.
I don't want to ask you a question that's gonna like
Offend me?
No, no, I want that, but I don't want to ruin like your top 3. So I'm not gonna ask any more questions about anything travel related. Yep, I'm done. What about you?
Okay.
What's going on in your life? Anything interesting? I have something interesting.
I do too, actually.
Okay, tell me what's going on in your life.
All right, so actually, this, and it's funny because I thought of, no joke, I thought of when you asked me a couple weeks ago what I would do if I flooded your bathroom downstairs. So
you've been thinking about that since?
No, I haven't been thinking of that. So something happened yesterday, though, at my house that made me think of that. We're doing our regular thing. It's the first day of Christmas break. It's Saturday. You know, I'm just kind of cleaning up, doing whatever. Noticed a foul smell coming from what I thought was the bathroom, because there's a bathroom right around the corner from where I was. Check that, and I can see that the toilet is backed up. I'm like, all right, great. Sure enough, I walk over by the laundry, the washer dryer, and it has backed up to where there is septic. Luckily, it was like a small, like I'm saying, like probably less than like a 3-foot radius. So it didn't like cover the whole thing.
Oof.
Yes, and it was disgusting. So when we moved into this house 4 years ago, I've probably talked about it. It was a single older woman who lived there by herself. And single, no kids, no pets, anything like that.
She just destroyed the toilet situation.
There wasn't enough, like she didn't use it enough.
Yeah.
So like when we moved in, the 4 of us, and I mean, we love taking shits. No, so the first night we were there, actually, when we actually closed on the house, Joni and the girls were still sleeping at the house we were in before, and I was there just kind of painting, doing things like that. Next morning, it backed up. So this was the first night we were in the house. I started freaking out because I grew up in a house that had like a bad sewage system, so we had problems like this. So I was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Called Joni. I told her, I'm like, there's backup in the basement. Apparently, though, this has happened before. So the woman who lived in the house before us literally left this binder with all of the different services she's used in the past. So, I mean, it was wonderful telling us with receipts and everything. Yeah. So we know how much money she paid when this guy came out to check the gas line, everything.
Wow.
So one of the things that's said in there is like, drain will occasionally back up. And like they gave us the number, or the number that she used, whatever. We could have called anyone. So that first night, the realtor called us the next morning, just like, hey, how'd the first night go? And like, we weren't going to say anything because it's like, this is our house now.
Yeah.
But we're like, well, yeah, I mean, like the thing backed up. So the people who sold us the house, they paid for it, which was awesome. So they paid like $400 or $500 because the guy had to come out and just kind of like blast the tree roots. So that's the problem. While I love my neighborhood, it is very old and the tree roots are insane and they're constantly like, you'll see like Precision Plumbing, Armbrust, whatever, all these companies on our block, at least, like, I feel like someone's having work done all the time. Like, so we paid $1,100 yesterday.
Wow, that is shitty.
Yeah. No pun intended, actually. And Joni used that one numerous times.
I'd imagine.
Because I had to clean it up.
It's
but
the dad joke of shit jokes.
Yeah, exactly. So what I kind of wanted to talk about is like home repairs. Like, have you guys had any like big like? And then like,
now you're
what's
gonna
like
jinx my house?
Well, like, what's your extent of like what can you do? Like anything like electrical, plumbing, anything.
And
like
you're
that?
gonna call me out as a man?
Yes,
unbelievable.
I hope Megan's listening.
No, she knows that I'm hopeless or whatever. Sometimes I'll like fix something and she'll be like, "Oh,
look at this
Handy
guy.
Andy over here." Handy Andy reference.
Handy Andy.
Yeah. Do you remember Handy Andy?
I do.
It was the Home Depot before Home Depot. No, I'm not very handy. Yeah, we have stuff that happens here, and I call my dad, and he comes and he fixes it because I'm not that person. And then my dad's disappointed in me even more. And then I'm like, yeah, well, you can't shred on the guitar like this because I plug in and I play behind him while he's trying
to fix it.
Yeah, and it's not good playing either. So like I can't even. Yeah. No, I mean, like, we've been lucky enough to not have. I mean, we've had stuff. I shouldn't say like we haven't had things, but like, I don't know. I don't want to say anything. I feel like I'm going to jinx something if I say anything, and I don't want to do that. Our furnace is like 30 years old and on the fritz. I fixed it with some skateboard bearings.
There you
like
go.
A bearing was
nice.
And it's been working fine for years since then.
Damn right.
water heater we've had to replace, so we had to like call somebody to do that. I mean, that was like the first year we lived in this house. I don't know. There's stuff always, but you've been here. Like this place is falling apart.
Well, like, so what? Do you have a situation like mine ever? Like, do you guys have
no back? Like, we don't have septic stuff at all. We also like where we. This just reminds me, it has nothing to do with septic, but like we don't flood because there like hasn't been a flood in our area, and we're like above everything. Okay. So like some of our neighbors will get water. It can pour like all day. We had nothing even close to the house. We don't even have a sump pump in this house.
Really?
Yeah, there's nothing.
Damn.
Nothing's ever come close. There's never been a history of it.
Dangerous game. Well, do you have a crawl space?
No.
Huh.
We just have that little basement where you go down.
Okay.
That's like the lowest level of our house.
Because I flooded it. That's why I brought this whole thing up.
That's okay.
It's starting to reach us now.
Water or
both.
Goff nuggets.
Both. Goff nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, when we moved into our house, my father-in-law, he actually he did a lot of the work with us, actually, which was nice. He was kind of like, no, you're going to help me, like, replace, so we put some ceiling fans in. Like,
that's a nice way to do it. It's like, hey, I'm here, I will lead the way, but you got to get your ass up, and you got to do stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, so, I mean, like, he showed me how to, like, switch the locks on, like, one door, and I did all the other, like, 3 or 4, whatever. I just actually replaced our front lamp, like, out in the porch. And it's actually, it's good to know how to do that stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there are the certain times where it's just like, I can't do this. I mean, like, I feel like electrical, you do have the benefit of obviously just shutting the power off. And that helps, but it doesn't mean that it's always, like, inactive, like the wire or whatever. So you can totally fuck yourself up.
Yeah, and
but, like with plumbing... That, I mean, like, just because the slightest just drip, 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 you know?
No, like, electric is something I won't even mess with.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of fires in general. Even if I was able to fix something, I would be worried that I didn't do it correctly, and then I would just, like, stare in that direction while I try to sleep at night, like, waiting to see a spark or something. I'm terrified of like fire.
You know, when you talk about how you like used to unplug things all the time, I'm used to as of 2 weeks ago or whatever it was when you finally broke that fear. I'm not far off from that with checking windows, like, and checking doors to make sure they're locked.
Yeah, I do.
So
that too. Yeah.
Actually, it was kind of funny. Last week for Christmas when we were talking about the Christmas card, where there was the coffee one with the little elf on a shelf thing. That was before the wedding we went to. And Joni and the girls literally ran out to the car. And I'm like, hold on, let me go run in and check the doors. That's when I set that up. So it's like I had to do that in like 5 minutes. But it was like, because they know how like crazy I am with going back and just checking that everything. Especially on a night where like we were gone that night.
Yeah.
You know, we stayed overnight. So
I don't know, man. Home repairs scare me. That's also kind of like the nice thing about renting when we used to rent.
Yeah.
It was just like we would call our landlord. But also then it would take him like 5 days to fix our heat in the middle of winter, and you're like, it's cold.
Yeah, that sucks because it's like, well, we could just pay someone to do it. It's like, yeah, but like I do that. That's part of yours, but I can't get there for 2 weeks, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I just, total bummer yesterday, but it turned out, I mean, like, besides the money, the problem itself actually, like, because it backed up the one time, and then I kept going in and, like, reflushing the toilets, and then it came up again.
Oh, no.
But then, like, after that, like, after I cleaned it and everything, luckily
I would just
it
move,
stopped.
I think. I would just give up, I think.
I was just going to actually put duct tape over the drain.
I think that's smart.
So there's just a big bubble.
I don't see any problem in that.
Yeah, so.
I had an issue with insurance this week. A couple weeks ago, we had our buddy, friend of the pod, Luigi Castagnoli, or whatever the guy's name is, who shot the United Healthcare CEO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm kidding. He's not a friend of the pod.
Yeah, I think I didn't know who you were talking about.
So he shot the United Healthcare CEO, and half of people cheer for him and half don't, or whatever.
Yeah. So is that what we're going to talk about?
No, I don't want to get into that, but it was very funny that like 2 days after that, which is December, right? I got 2 bills from my hospital. And one was for something in February, and one was for something in August. And they just are sending me the bill now because it's end of the year. So
you're saying from February, like of 2020?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're just sending it to me now.
Wow.
And so my favorite part of it was it said this is due on 12/25/24. I was like, oh, you want me to pay on Christmas Day?
Okay.
You want me to pay you guys for a bill that I assumed was covered by insurance 10 months ago or whatever? And it just made me go like, I'm not going to say anything crazy because this is a podcast, but this is why people are, having a good time. This is what people are doing what they do.
Having a good time.
But no.
This is why people are driven to do things.
It's just pretty crazy. And this had nothing to do with insurance. I mean, it kind of did because it's like hospital related or whatever. But I just thought it was funny. So then I Googled, like, how long do they have to send me a bill? It's been 10 months since this thing. And it said, like, within 12 months is reasonable to expect. Like, they have, like, some sort of law that says that within reason is a 1 year thing. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to pay it. But I did want to complain about it on my podcast.
Do you have insurance, though?
I do. And
Okay.
it didn't cover those for some reason. I don't know what's going on. But, so yeah. That was my insurance fund. Mm-hmm. The other thing I wanted to bring up was last week we talked about our top gifts.
Yes.
And I said I have one. And I couldn't share it at the time. And the reason why I couldn't share it was because that episode was coming out before Christmas, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, I got something as a gift that was one of 3. So there's 3 of these in the world.
Okay.
And 2 of them are going as Christmas presents to other people. And I didn't want to risk those 2 other people, or at least one of those other people, seeing our podcast and seeing what they were going to get.
All right.
So this podcast obviously comes out the week after Christmas, so hopefully the gift will be given. Now, I teased this as one of the greatest gifts I've ever received. Maybe top 3, maybe number 1. I don't know what it is, but I do think it's going to... You're going to love it.
Okay.
Our dear friend, producer Tony... Here's his picture that we always...
Yes, there's another one up there.
Yes, right. Producer Tony, his high school picture. This thing has been on my
legendary,
It's been on my headboard for the past 15 years. Don't ask questions.
T-shirts as well?
With T-shirts.
Marks.
This thing is, it's beautiful. Yeah. It's a work of art.
It is.
And the other day...
What year was that, by the way?
2000.
No, I mean like senior year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so...
I hope he's in there.
I went... Tony,
is he in there?
Come on out. So the other day I went to lunch with Tony and he was like, I did something and I want you to take a look at this and this is for you.
Oh man.
And
did he 3D print something? Tony made our bucket, by the way, in case you're
he 3D printed his
That's fantastic.
high school photo with his silky red hair.
That is awesome.
It's absolutely incredible and one of the greatest gifts that I have ever received in my life.
Tony, you'll probably get this reference if you're listening. You look like Mystique from the X-Men movies.
We'll take
Played
it.
by Rebecca Romaine Stamos.
You look like Rebecca
awesome.
Romaine Stamos. I got this thing, and it is it's a work of art. It is absolutely beautiful. The luscious hair of a producer, Tony. One of 3 in the world.
It looks good.
This thing is priceless, and I'm afraid of 3D technology and AI even more. We can make this soon to be real life. Like we will have a miniature producer Tony possibly producing the show. I'm just saying. What do you think? You like it?
I love it. I don't so was that gifted to you like as a Christmas gift or like
I mean, it was the week of Christmas.
It's so I love that. It's just Tony's just like, you know what these guys need?
Yeah.
Like I love it. I think it's awesome. Again, like this is like silky hair.
Years and years ago, now I was a backyard wrestler, and
yes.
our group of wrestlers, all my friends who did it, a couple of years ago, I was looking into getting 3D printed, like miniature figures of the entire roster of like people who were in it. Because I have like bobbleheads and stuff like that I collect. I thought that would be a cool thing to have. It's like a picture of your friends, but also as the backyard wrestler thing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And so I looked into getting them made, and it was like hundreds and hundreds of dollars for one person. And now we're to the point where Tony is producing busts.
Yeah.
So
busts.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think the technology is amazing, and I absolutely love it. So it's up there.
I'm looking at the bucket, and then behind you the trophy. The Billy Joe Travis, but yeah, that one.
Yeah.
No, Yeah, Tony, just keep...
He's also 3D printed
I
QR.
don't even know what that is. What does that QR code mean?
Well, it's a QR code, and I don't think it works anymore. I tried it the other day, but he 3D printed that and sent it to me, and it was a video clip of Marty Jannetty, who was a former rocker. And he crashed a motorcycle into a hotel lobby, like Christmas tree.
Nice.
And that just sent you to watch that clip, which was one of the funniest clips of all time.
I was watching a
Dark
clip
Side of
this
the Ring.
morning from Survivor Series where the Ultimate Warrior was just putting tape around like his team.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like Jim the Anvil Neidhart
The
and the Rockers, and
yeah.
they're all just like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
He looked like it was some malicious intent with
Yeah,
that.
like
Shawn
they were
Michaels
just
when
like,
he was going
the
around his
hell?
neck.
It's
And,
like, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, Tony. I appreciate
yeah,
that.
that's awesome. All right, we got a text, actually. Well, I got a text from dear listener of the show, Shug, right up here. He was actually, he gave, we usually don't talk about the suggestions sent in for top threes, but this one I thought was actually kind of cool. There's a nice little caveat. Well, one of them, actually the first one was top 3 grunge bands, and that's just because we talk about punk all the time. So kind of similar, or at least in his, I don't know, like.
Not similar, but I think a good one. It's like a Joni situation where like you can separate.
Yeah, and I
better.
think that one, because I honestly, like, that one might be a tough one for me, but the other one he had, and this is a good one because this is kind of interactive. It was for us to list like what we thought our top 3 qualities were about ourselves, and then to ask our wives what they thought.
Man.
So I don't know if he meant like, now you guys list what you think are ours, or you comment on mine.
I think we should keep going. I think we should then ask our wives to think the other person's top 3 qualities.
Now I want you to think, what is Megan going to say about Sasha's top qualities?
No, those are creative, and I like them. That's good stuff. And the grunge one is right up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
I would have a difficult time with it because I love all kinds of grunge music and just tons of, and I feel like you're the opposite. You're like,
it's not that I didn't like it. I think there was just a few bands that I got into.
Okay.
So it's like, I bet if I made like a top 3 grunge list, like number 3 would be a band that had like one song that, like Sponge. You know, it'd be like kind of like that. Like I had that one album, Rotting Pinata.
Sponge is a great band. They've had 2 hits, by the way.
But
they're playing in West Chicago in January. I will see you there, buddy.
Okay. Rock and roll. Yeah, so no, thanks, Shug. You've gotten stickers, but maybe if you want.
Should we do one of those next week?
Yeah, we could do that. We'll just,
the wife one's going to take a while, I think.
All right. So we'll just do top 3 grunge bands next week?
We could do that.
All right.
We'll do this. We'll do top 3 grunge bands, or the first one that you pick, you get to choose.
Okay.
Veto power.
Sounds good.
And if not, then the grunge will go into the bucket for future dates.
Sounds good.
We're just making stuff up now. It doesn't really matter. That's it, right? I assume.
That's it. What are we putting inside ourselves? That's our next segment here. We're just going to talk about some TV, music, I don't know, Netflix comedy shows that Sasha's watching. I'll start off. I only got one, but I'm going to talk about this for a couple minutes. Stranger Things. Did you ever watch this show? Did you ever get into it?
I'm not into that bull crap.
Bull crap.
Yeah.
So Stranger Things, one of the most popular TV shows ever created on Netflix. The 5th season is coming out next season, so I was like, or next year, sorry, 2025. So I was like, you know what? It's been a while. I've only watched these things one time through, so I'm going to do that again. So I'm currently on season 4, but this is a great show. Like, I mean, like they hit lightning in a bottle with this. They were one of the first properties to come back to the 80s to start doing their stuff then, and then like the It movies, like those came back out, so like everything's in the 80s now to the point where it's just fucking annoying. But yeah, this is, I mean, so it's a good like horror show, a good mystery show that actually I was watching it the other day, and both of my daughters came down and watched like 2 episodes with me, which was really weird because they don't watch like anything I watch, but of course they know like the character 11. You know, she's the main like little girl that has like powers, so they really like her a lot. But the thing with this show though, like every show, when you start off with kids and the seasons come out like 2 to 3 years apart.
Yeah, now they're like 30.
Now they're like 30 and they're playing like 17-year-olds. And it's just like, why the fuck couldn't we just get this done like quicker? And the other thing with a lot of these characters is that as the seasons go on, they get insufferable and annoying. And it's almost like you're watching these kids turn into teenagers as it's being filmed, because they all suck and they're unlikable. But yeah, no, I think if you're ever looking to like possibly like something maybe like scary that's along the lines of like, yeah, Monster Squad, Goonies, things like that with younger kids who like kind of swear and are potty mouth and
I see what you're trying to do,
but it ain't working.
I don't think I will ever watch Stranger Things.
Okay.
I'm not taking a stand against Stranger Things. I'm just saying my level of interest, along with the queue that I have, that I would rather watch before.
Oh, I hear you totally.
Is something that like I saw Megan was watching it once, and I just like walk by and stop, and I was like,
just nothing pulled you in.
Nothing. No.
All right, so start with season 1, then go to 2. No, that's totally fine. But I mean, like, I'm guessing like most of the people listening have probably either watched it before, or like know at least what it is.
Biggest show ever.
Yeah, it's no. I mean, like for like I said, it was created by a pair of brothers, the Duffers, Matt, and I don't know the other. I don't know if they're twins or whatever. But I mean, you just love. Or I like seeing things like that, like two guys who probably just sat around all day just like writing shit, and then finally like got that call from Netflix. It's like, hey, and it's cool too, since the show like the 80s is like the big nostalgia thing behind it. A lot of the actors in it are like Paul Reiser was in one. So when you see characters like that, Sean Astin, Winona Ryder, so they purposely pluck like a certain characters that are like that were big 80s stars, like Carrie Elways.
Did you know Sean Astin's dad is Gomez Adams? Mm-hmm. But it's not. He thought it was him for his entire life, and then he found out the Jane, what's her name? Jane Goodall, whoever Gomez Adams was married to, she like they got divorced, and then she was with somebody for like 9 months, and that guy had Sean Astin, but he considers Gomez Adams his dad, like whatever.
Oh, yeah, I did know that.
That's mind blowing. The guy from Encino Man, and the guy, and Gomez Adams is in Night Court. I've talked about it. I'll always talk about Night Court. Yeah. But yeah, you brought up Sean Astin, so that's what I brought up. Sorry.
So yeah, but that's what I got for my. What I've been putting inside myself. I've been watching a lot of Stranger Things.
I got a couple things for you. One comedy special. Pete Holmes. He has a special called "I'm Not for Everyone." It came out within the past year, maybe even like past 6 months or so. I think it's in Minneapolis, maybe. I saw this show live that he did. He did it in Chicago at the Den Theater, and then eventually, you refine, and then you end up recording it. Mm-hmm. And I've been a fan of Pete Holmes for a very long time. I kind of dipped out of it a little bit. His early specials, I think he's got a couple HBO specials, are fantastic. One of them was shot at the Vic Theater in Chicago.
Okay.
I mean, just like really, really good, original, funny comedy. Dipped out a little bit, and then the past couple of years started getting back into him. We went to go see him at Den Theater, and he crushed. And since then, I've been paying attention more to what he's doing. He's got a podcast too, but I'm not really into. He's like very spiritual and like I think Buddhist maybe or something like that. But
I don't want to hear your actual opinion.
No. He's like very kind and stuff. It's just like it's not for me most of the time. If he has guests on, I'll listen here or there or whatever. But anyway, that special that he put out is really solid. Pete Holmes, I'm Not for Everyone. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, Sasha's Song of the Week. This band Elbow, they've been around since 1990. They're a huge band from England.
Okay.
I'd never heard of them until there was a Peloton song. Their song was on Peloton. I was running one day and I was like, this song is really good.
What kind of music?
It's just like rock acoustic. I don't think you would like it, but it's kind of like, it's not grunge, but it is kind of like maybe like Oasis-y or something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it's just like rock music. The song that I like is called Mirror Ball, so check that out. And then the only other thing I'm interested, you may have seen this. We're a Jason Bateman podcast here.
Okay.
Carry On?
No.
Okay.
Now, is this like a carry-on bag or carry-on like dead carcass left in the desert carry-on?
Carry-on bag.
Okay.
This is a solid movie. It's on Netflix now. It is a like action movie.
Okay.
Lots of swerves. Jason Bateman's in it as a serious bad guy.
Oh,
which is cool.
All
like
right.
You don't see that too often.
No.
here's the stupid AI thing.
Okay.
Not AI, CGI. Remember, I said I was
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
bring
yeah,
this
yeah.
up.
Because you're a big CGI guy.
The movie is great, but then there's a car scene where like the two people in the car are fighting. There's a gun and they're going like this and they're going 80 miles an hour. And all of a sudden they start doing this and then the cars in front of them crash and then burn, like, bounce out of the way and stuff. I hate all of that trash. All of it. Of course you can do stuff like that with endless possibilities.
Yeah.
That's not the point of a movie, in my point of view. That's why I like when you can see a string on something that flies by. You know what I mean? Like a man is up there, like they're like wheeling him by, and he's holding like a whatever. I love that stuff. The CGI is just like, oh yeah.
So
What
like
else?
it needs to
Too
be
much.
more like Mad Max, where they're actually like really blowing up cars.
Yeah,
and-
yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like I hate this new stuff.
Is this movie new?
Hate is a strong word, and I'm using it for like CGI stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
it is. I believe it is brand new. Like, I mean, just came out. We watched it literally last night or 2 nights ago.
Did you watch Squid Game?
No.
Because I think the second season comes out, or it came out last week, right after Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know that that's for me.
Probably
Especially
not.
because it's subtitled the first.
Yeah, and if
stuff.
you do, because like Netflix, at least one of the good things, you can watch everything dubbed over if you don't want to watch the subtitles, but sometimes it makes it so much worse.
Yeah,
Just everyone sounds terrible and whiny and
Not for me. Another thing that bothered me in this movie, Megan actually brought it up. They're like TSA agents in this or whatever, and
Okay.
Jason Bateman's in their ear, and the guy's like sitting there, and he's talking back and forth with Jason Bateman, and everything is under high surveillance, but nobody's like, why is this guy talking to himself? It kind of
Is this like an action comedy or is it like
no.
okay? Because this just is throwing me off big time.
actually- it's
Jason
like-
Bateman not having any kind of like
No. And yeah, it's a crazy movie, and he's very, very good in it, and
Okay.
the twists are insane, and like the detail is insane. It is an excellent movie. And yeah, I don't know. There's a couple of things that bothered, like those little things or whatever, CGI and the talking to yourself thing, but the movie itself,
nitpicks.
I would absolutely say to watch it. That's all I got.
All right, well, we are just fucking speeding things along because
Look,
we're
we
just
have
going to go
to.
ahead and jump right into our topic of the week, which is our top 3 vacation dream destinations, dream vacation, however you want to say that.
Yeah, thank you, Giuseppe, for sending this in as a request, and sorry in advance that I only want to go to Moline, Illinois 3 times. So.
Yeah. Well, I love that one of the running jokes in Parks and Rec is that Jerry and his wife love Muncie, Indiana.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they have a timeshare there and everything, and it's good stuff. So
I saw the band Muse in Muncie, Indiana.
nice. So it is a real place, huh?
It is.
All right, I'll start off. So my number 3, and this is again, I don't have like super creative ones, and this is one that I feel like would be so easily attainable. It's just that damn family I got to bring along with me. Colorado, because I have friends and family who live in this beautiful state that I've never been to, and I've been offered many times, hey, come on out. We got, you can stay with me. I have 2 sisters that live out there. Your cousin Nick, good friend of mine, lives out there as well. I've never taken anyone up on this offer. Have you been there? Like,
I went.
I know you guys toured there,
Yeah.
right? Like, have you been there just to visit?
Yeah, about 6-7 years ago to visit Nick. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's obviously it's one of the, I mean, like, I guess for someone who's never been to Colorado, probably everyone who's never been to Colorado at least knows that it's one of those beautiful states, like, with the
Yeah,
mountains
it's
and
a
everything.
really cool
and-
city too. I was very, very close to going this past summer, and I do think I will go this summer. So if you want to have a boys' night out with me and the boys,
Just one night.
yeah, just one, and then we'll go to Colorado after the boys'
There
night.
you go.
I'm in.
Sweet. All right, so yeah, Colorado would be. I guess I don't know if I should say Denver or I'll just say Colorado.
Yeah, I never went outside of the Denver area, but are you a nature guy?
Yeah.
So you're like, you want to climb rocks?
I would love to, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I'm like, yeah. But, like, I don't have, like, hiking boots or anything.
Yeah,
but it's all
yeah.
these things. It's like, yeah, I'll do it on my fucking gym shoes. I don't
You
care.
show
I
up
love
in
climbing
Crocs
stuff.
or whatever.
Yeah, with these babies.
I'm going to stay in America for my number 3, and it is also a place that I've been to.
Okay.
I would like to go to New York.
All right.
Now here's the thing.
Yeah.
I went to New York City. I'm talking about. I was there for like 3 hours.
Okay.
Walked around, went to the NBA store, walked past where
Like
SNL
Times
is,
Square, New York, or
walked through Times Square. Yeah, but we were only there because I went to New Jersey to see Streetlight Manifesto's last ever show, which they've had many shows since then. I went with Kowalski and Putski. It has to be 10 years or something like that ago, and so we had some time. So we went to New York. We walked around. Like I said, the NBA store was everything that I hoped and dreamed for. And it was cool. We went, literally just walked around. Didn't get to actually go anywhere. So if I would like to go to New York, and I would like to stay like a week in New York and do the things that you want to go. I want to go to the Comedy Cellar and watch some shows. I want to actually see the sites that you go see. I want to go in the buildings that you go see. I want to go take the tour at SNL. I want to go see the Seth Meyers show live or SNL or whatever. And ideally, I'd like to do the Christmas time of year, like this last 2 weeks or whatever. If you can go to like an SNL Christmas show, or
just like 30 Rock would probably look awesome.
Yeah,
like this time
and
of year,
like
tree
snow and
yeah.
like the actual Christmas
You
spirit.
don't get snow anymore. Remember?
I don't know if like the Christmas spirit exists anymore.
You'd have to go in like February if you want snow.
I know, and
maybe.
it would just be like gray.
It might be snow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, but ideally, if it was possible, like Christmas in New York for a week with no headaches, no thinking about what's going on at work or whatever, just like it would be cool to explore New York, because I've always wanted to go to New York.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up a Knicks fan. I've always liked SNL. I like comedy. There's a lot of stuff there, like that I would like to see.
You know what's crazy? One of the things I want to see in New York is the garbage piled up on the streets.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I just want to be like, I want to see that. And, I've seen pictures, and I don't know, because not like these are glorious things, but it's like I'd love to see like a fucking cat-sized rat running down the street, because I don't see that around here.
We saw the trash. I was not aware of the trash situation. They don't have alleys in New York.
It just piles up.
I had no clue until we got there, and there was just trash on the corner, and we're like, "What? Are they on strike? What's going on?" Or no, that's where you put the trash. Oh, all right, okay. Madison Square Garden. I'd like to go see a Knicks game. Like all that stuff. Just New York in general, I would like to explore at some point. Awesome. So that's my number 3.
Good stuff. All right, my number 2. So this, I think of this one because Joni and I always make this reference, and it's from The Office. Steve Carell at one point, I think he's talking to Jan, and he tells her, he's like, he says it really quickly. He's like, "Can we just escape and go to a bungalow in Jamaica?" Like, I forgot exactly what the reference is, but like, so whenever you see those, the pictures of like the huts that are like in the crystal clear blue water, like on stilts.
Yes.
Somewhere where I can find those.
Bahamas,
I don't know. Yeah, the
something.
Bahamas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like that is just incredible. And
we are so like Midwestern.
Well, yeah, because we don't get to see shit like that.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
I'm with you.
There's this place up in Door County in Wisconsin. I forgot what it's called, but it's like Joni took me there. We went to Door County like right when we got married, and then we went a couple years ago. So there was like a 13-year gap in between. And she took me to this one cove, which is now it's like a destination, I guess. Like when I went there like 13 years ago. But I mean, like same thing, like off of Lake Michigan. But I mean, like crystal clear water like that, where you're just like, and this is only in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So it's like I have a picture on my phone. I think maybe I'll send it to you later or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like we don't. I mean, and there are some beautiful things in Illinois, believe it or not. I mean, like just like even by where I live, I mean 12. Some of the all right, Trump Tower. No.
Saw it last week.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I've never left the country. Don't really have many plans to, but if you could just drop me off in one of those villas and pick me up after a week.
We wanted to go for our honeymoon to like, I think it's in the Bahamas where you go swim with the pigs.
Pigs, huh?
Yeah, there's pigs in the water, and like you swim with them, and then whatever. It doesn't sound appealing to me, but Megan wanted to go. But there's just so many logistic things with that, like money and no, like where do we put the dog, and and we don't go to the beach, and like all kinds of stuff. Like up here, mentally,
I'm allergic to the sun.
Yeah, I don't like pigs. Me and pigs don't get along.
I heard pigs are pretty mean, though. Actually, I mean, like they're smart as hell, and I know, like they'll eat you if you're thrown to them.
I talked about that on this podcast.
You talked about feral cats that you put on your head, and no, you talked about one.
Oh no, that was
when you got fleas.
Yeah, those were barn cats.
And then you talked about maybe there was like a bathroom in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
was that what it was? Okay,
yep.
That was surrounded by. I thought it was goats.
It was a bathroom. It's an outhouse, but to get to the outhouse, you have to go through the pig cages. Nice. And then you want to stop and pet the pigs or whatever, but one of them bit me on the back of the heel.
Damn.
Yeah. So, and then I turned into a pig. So here we are. Anyway,
that was good.
My number 2. I'm going to leave the country for number 2.
All right.
And I'm going to foggy London town.
Ooh.
I've never been to London.
Now we just do
cool.
our London accents for the next 20 minutes. Hello, chap.
Let's get out of here. The bobbies. The bobbies.
Hey, cunt.
I was watching Monty Python and the Holy Grail last week.
I can't believe I said that.
And Megan was, after an hour, Megan was like, "Can we just turn this off?" she had enough of the accents and the movie and all of it in general. I want to go to London. I think London would be cool. I think there's a lot to see. I would like to go see bands out there. I would like to just spend some time in London. I like rainy, gray weather. And I'd like to go see some soccer in where they play the best soccer in the world. Yeah. So
that's cool.
London, yeah. That's my number 2.
Okay, my number 1. We're bringing it back to the United States, but not the homeland. We're going to
Alaska.
Hawaii.
Oh, I had a 50-50 shot.
No, you know what? Alaska just seems kind of miserable to me.
It really does.
And you know what? Before we actually talk about Hawaii, what do you like? Do you like snow?
The rapper?
Yes.
No.
What about the album 12 Inches of?
Yes.
Okay. How about the powdery substance that falls from the sky? Not at a New Year's Eve party. I mean,
it depends.
Outside.
It depends on the. No, I don't really like snow.
Okay, so at this point, I feel like in your life,
I'm okay
really
with
all
it.
Snow does is deters you. Like I can build snowmen and go sledding with my kids and stuff, and I know you can do that too. But it's like, as an adult,
go
it's
sledding
like
with your kids.
Yeah, you can, if you want.
No, like I don't mind snow. I hate cold. Yeah. Like the winter, I'm bothered by the cold. Okay. The snow is like, the snow's fine. My dog runs around and my dog likes the snow, so I got nothing against the snow. But I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna go snowboarding and go. I'm not gonna go out in it. I'm just gonna not be affected by it really.
The last time we went sledding, I bought like a couple of those nice like inflatable sled tubes. They all ripped. Like like seriously, like first trip down, it was just like, all right, guys, we're done. All right, sorry. Hawaii for mine. Just another place I'd love to. Weather-wise, looks wonderful because I hate the cold, and that's why, I'm like you. Like Alaska would be terrible. Also, I don't know. I mean, because it's for being like part of our country, it just seems like a different country, you know. Yeah. And like I guess Alaska would be that way too, but like no one cares. I'm sorry, no one wants to go to Alaska. No one's like it's like the top of the world, man. I mean, like literally where it's dark for like an entire month. And
it's funny that you say that because last week I was talking about my Slava. Yeah. And my aunt and uncle came, and my aunt and uncle have a place in Alaska.
Wow.
And they go and they're big hunters and all that kind of stuff. And so they were like, they're always like, you should come up. And I'm like, nothing.
I bet it's beautiful.
Nothing about Alaska says Sasha, right? I don't like hunting. I don't want to be that far away. I don't know. I just, I appreciate it. But at my Slava, they brought pamphlets. So my uncle is a big fisherman as well as hunter and all that kind of stuff. And they basically created a business up there where like he will take people fishing in Alaska. So you go up for a trip, you pay him, and he will take you out.
Like a tour guide.
Exactly. Nice. And then he gets to do what he loves, which is fish.
Yeah.
And like, hang out with people who have a lot of money probably to be spending on these fishing trips or whatever. So they created a business out of it. And that the entire time where you're like, nobody wants to go to Alaska. That's all I'm thinking about is like they love Alaska more than anything.
Yeah. I'm Alaska. I mean, like I'm sure it's beautiful too. But Hawaii, like I would love to. I know this sounds weird. It's like I would love to see an active volcano. I think that'd be fucking cool too.
Do you like? So you like warm weather? Like you would want to go to warm weather stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why. Well, go ahead with your number 1.
My number 1 is another one out of the country, I've talked about going for years with my buddy Putski, but who knows if we'll ever get there. We can't even get a trip to Indianapolis going, the farthest west you've ever been.
Yeah.
But Tokyo, Japan, or I guess Japan in general, because it's such a life change, culture shock and all that kind of stuff. Also, we're big wrestling fans, and it's got some crazy wrestling in Japan, and just everything about Japan, it seems like a totally different world than it is here. And you get to go to wrestling shows. I mean, that's number one for me, and it has been for a while. I've wanted to go since I was, I don't know, probably a teenager. I took a semester of Japanese when I was in college. All I could say is Kurisomasu, which means Christmas.
Nice.
So, I mean, but it just interests me in general. And I'm not an anime guy. There's a lot of people who are like, yeah, Goku and whatever. That has 0%. But yeah, the wrestling part of it. And then just the seeing what it looks like there. You've seen the pictures, you've seen the movies and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so Japan would be, I think,
my daughter Sadie's huge into that culture, to where she actually has books where she's reading them, backwards from right to left. I mean, it's just it's so insane to me. It's how can you even go back to reading normal textbooks and whatnot? So, all right, well, so when we were talking about warm weather, is that your number one?
That's my number one. But I was thinking is that all Asian writing goes right to that? I thought that was Chinese. I didn't know.
Well, she's maybe
I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. It doesn't matter.
Either way, because there's a Netflix show called Demon Slayer.
Maybe she's reading the book the wrong way.
Yeah, she's actually reading it literally letters backwards too. And it's just wow, she created her own language. But yeah, when you were talking about warm weather. California. I know it seems lame, but it's I've never been to the West Coast or the East Coast. So yeah, New York is another one that I have as notables. Just wanting to, like I said, get out of the Midwest.
Yeah, it seems you just want to travel in general. Would be nice.
See, that's the thing. I do, but I also don't. Again, it's just everything that comes with it. It's well, you could go visit beautiful Spain, and it's yeah, but what's Lucy gonna do for that week when I'm gone? When we went to that wedding a couple weeks ago, the whole time we were all just this sucks, because Lucy had to sleep at the kennel, so
that's so funny.
But yeah, I don't know, I want to go to Disneyland, whichever one's in California. I've been to the one in Florida, Disney World, I think. I think Disneyland is California.
Disneyland, think of it this way: Disneyland, L.A. L-A-N-D. Okay. Disney World, O-R-L, Orlando.
Nice.
How about that?
Okay.
You like that?
Yeah. I won't remember it.
That's your tip of the week.
All right. You got any potent notables?
No. I'll say I've been to California a couple times. I've been to San Jose. I've been to the L.A. area in Huntington Beach and Long Beach and a couple of times. And then I've been to San Diego. And San Diego's fantastic.
What's the best one
I think San Diego is where you should go if you're going to go to California for the experience that you think you want to have. But there's more money there. LA is also nice, but you're not going to be in downtown LA. You're going to want to go to the Santa Monica and the beaches and that kind of stuff.
I'd love to see a Fat Records lineup in California, or an Epitaph, see Pennywise and Bad Religion, just to see those guys in their home states.
I saw a Long Beach short bus in Long Beach when I went 20 years ago, whatever it was.
I think my biggest one was probably Warped Tour, seeing Suicide Machines in Detroit.
Yeah, that's cool.
We actually saw Kid Rock that year too.
That's not that cool.
Yeah, that wasn't. Less cool. Suicide Machines there was cool. So
all right.
Anyways, so that is our top 3 vacation destinations. So we're going to drop the bucket, and we're going to use my veto power here. It's either going to be top 3 grunge bands, or... Let's see.
This bucket's getting quicker.
It is getting quicker. There's a lot of things. We got a lot of episodes to go, my friend.
Yeah, that's...
I don't know if we've done this one or not, but it is a fun one.
Okay.
So I think we're going to do this instead of grunge bands.
Okay.
Top 3 MTV shows.
MTV?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so we've done Comedy Central, but I don't think we've done MTV. Shug, no offense, I love your grunge one. Probably not as much as Sasha because I don't have that many to list. But
I love it.
Yeah, next week we're gonna do our top 3 MTV shows.
Better believe I'm putting Trippin' Daisy in my top 3. It doesn't even matter.
You could do your grunge one if you want, anyway.
No, we're gonna put the grunge in the thing, and we'll get to it eventually for sure. Top 3 MTV shows on next week's episode. Sounds good. Goff, Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too, man.
You're invited if you want to stay at my house since it is currently New Year's and we are about 10 seconds away. 3,
2,
7, 1. Happy New Year. We'll see you guys next week.
There? Bye.